I was so anxious that I couldn't even talk to strangers. Then one day, I was forced to stand in front of hundreds of people, and what happened next completely changed my life. I used to think I was different from everyone else. Every morning, I walked into school with a smile on my face. But inside, I was scared. Really scared. My name is Ethan, and for years anxiety controlled my life. Nobody knew how much I struggled. Whenever a teacher asked me a question, my heart started beating fast. Whenever I had to talk to someone new, my hands became sweaty. Whenever my phone rang, I hoped someone else would answer it. Simple things felt impossible. One day, I was standing in the school cafeteria holding my lunch tray. I wanted to sit with a group of students from my class. But then the thoughts started again. What if they don't want me there? What if I say something awkward? What if they laugh at me? So I did what I always did. I sat alone. As I looked around the room, everyone seemed happy. Everyone seemed confident. Everyone seemed normal. I felt invisible. That night, I looked in the mirror and asked myself a question. Why am I like this? I didn't have an answer. Weeks passed. My anxiety got worse. I stopped joining activities. I stopped talking in class. I even stopped hanging out with friends. The more I avoided people, the more afraid I became. Then one Monday morning, something happened. My English teacher walked into class and smiled. I have exciting news, she said. The entire class became quiet. Next month, every student will give a speech in front of the whole school. My stomach dropped. The whole school? Not just my class. Not 20 students. Hundreds of students. At that moment, I felt like I couldn't breathe. The next few weeks were terrible. Every day I imagined myself standing on stage. Every day I imagined forgetting my speech. Every day I imagined people laughing at me. I couldn't sleep properly. I couldn't focus. I was trapped inside my own thoughts. 3 days before the speech, I decided something. I wasn't going. I would pretend to be sick. Problem solved. That evening, I visited my grandfather. He was sitting in his garden drinking tea. He looked at me and immediately knew something was wrong. After listening to my story, he smiled. Then he pointed toward a small tree. Do you see that tree, Ethan? Yes. When it was planted, a strong storm came. I looked confused. So? The tree could have stopped growing because of the storm. But it didn't. I stayed silent. My grandfather smiled again. The storm made its roots stronger. I thought about his words. Then he looked directly into my eyes. Ethan, anxiety is your storm. What if I fail? I asked quietly. What if you succeed? He replied. That question stayed in my mind all night. What if I succeed? Nobody had ever asked me that before. Speech day finally arrived. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing. My stomach felt terrible. I wanted to run away. I wanted to hide. I wanted the day to end. Students were called one by one. Then I heard my name. Ethan Parker. The room suddenly felt silent. Hundreds of eyes looked at me. My legs felt weak as I walked toward the stage. For a second, I forgot everything. I froze. My anxiety was screaming inside my head. Run. Leave. You're going to embarrass yourself. Then I remembered my grandfather's words. What if you succeed? I took a deep breath. Then another. And another. Finally, I started speaking. My voice shook at first. I made a few mistakes. But something surprising happened. Nobody laughed. Nobody made fun of me. Nobody cared about my mistakes. They were simply listening. As I continued speaking, I felt stronger. Sentence after sentence. Minute after minute. The fear slowly became smaller. When I finished, the room became silent for a moment. Then everyone started clapping. Loudly. Very loudly. I couldn't believe it. For years, I had been running from fear. And now I had faced it. After the event, several students came to talk to me. One student said something I will never forget. You looked confident up there. I almost laughed. If only he knew how scared I was. That day taught me an important lesson. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes after action. You don't become fearless first. You act while feeling afraid. Today, I still get nervous sometimes. I still have anxious moments. But anxiety no longer controls my life. Now, whenever fear appears, I remember something powerful. The biggest opportunities in life are often hiding behind the things that scare us the most. And sometimes, one brave step can change your entire future. If anxiety has ever stopped you from doing something, remember this: courage isn't being fearless. Courage is moving forward even when you're scared.